took into consideration the podium thing you were talking I just need a thumbs up when everybody's good.
I don't have a stand. I'm just.
Yeah, wherever you got it.
Is everybody good? Why don't you like get up? Get up and on the ground.
I don't have anything to get up for.
Probably like.
Kind of put it.
I don't know if you can. Maybe in that little slot.
In here?
Yeah. All right then. Shout out you. Thank you so much.
All right, teamwork. I just need a thumbs up from everybody when they're ready.
Everybody good?
Good.
Everybody, is everybody here that we said? We said 8:30, right? All right, let's knock this out. All right, my name is Chad Rogers, Chadrogers. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Pearland Police Department. Today, we have very limited information, but I wanted to get something out to the public on what we know at this point. So today, approximately 5:34 p.m., Pearland officers were dispatched to 1014 North Main, which is the location of Cole's Flea Market, in regards to shooting. Upon arrival, officers located 5 victims that had been shot. All 5 were transported to local area hospitals. At this time, I did not know the status of those victims. I can tell you it's 3 adults and 2 juveniles. I do not have any ages. At this time, there's an active investigation going. Preliminary investigation revealed at this time we're hearing that this started because there was a disturbance between 2 individuals at the flea market that resulted in gunfire. I'm not sure if they both had firearms, if one person had firearms. I do not know the number of rounds that were fired, but it appears as though it was 2 subjects that got involved in a disturbance, and that's what resulted in the shootings. It does not appear to be any kind of targeted attack on the flea market. Again, this appears to be a disturbance that occurred at the flea market between 2 individuals, and shots were fired in the process. We're working to get more information on that. I want to give out a number to you guys. Currently, no one is in custody. This is a very active investigation. We just wanted to get some information out to you guys. We have a tip line. It's 281-997-5828. Again, 281-997-5828. That is a tip line. If you saw something, heard something, and you need to let us know, please call that number and help our investigators out. We would like to get this thing, more information out to the public about this tragic incident tonight. Again, we're working on as much information as we can put out, but that is all I have at this time. Does anybody have any specific questions? Again, very limited at this time.
Can you kind of speak to just, how shocking this really is? We got 3 adults, 2 kids shot. Is this something that happens in this area?
No, this is not anything that happens in the Pearland. This is extremely tragic. Anytime someone is a victim of gun violence, especially in our community, this has not happened here in Pearland.
We still don't know if it's 1 shooter, 2 shooters.
Correct. I do not know if it's 1 shooter or 2 shooters. I do know it involved a disturbance between 2 people.
And if you could just reiterate, you said that there's no arrest, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there's some crazy manhunt going on.
Correct. So the scene is still very tight down and locked down at this point while they're conducting a thorough sweep of Cole's Flea Market. Our investigators are interviewing people that were involved, victims that were involved, to ascertain exactly what happened. All right, but it's at this time there's no one in custody for this shooting.
And there's no suspects either. We don't know if the people.
We're working to identify who's responsible for this act today. Again, extremely tragic act that happened here in our city.
Officer Rogers, can you talk a little bit about the resources you're using? Obviously, you called in the Houston Police Department as well. Just talk a little bit about that and how that's helping in your investigation.
Correct. We've called in additional resources. I know for certain the Houston Police Department is here helping us make sure we clear Cole's Flea Market. It's a large area, and we're very thankful for the help of the Houston Police Department in expediting the ability to clear this area.
Can you talk a little bit about the flea market? Is this something that they have every week, every day?
Yeah, Cole's Flea Market has been around as long as I can remember. Very busy on the weekends, and so it's something that happens. I don't know how busy it was today with the weather, but typically on a weekend, it's a very, very populated space.
Do you know what time about this call came in?
The call out notes I had about 5:34, so I'm assuming a little bit before 5:34.
Any threats to the public?
I'm not aware of any threats to the public at this time. I would say, though, this is a very active scene, so if you're in the Pearland area and you see something suspicious or somebody's knocking on your door, please contact us immediately and help us figure out what's going on.
How important is that going to be that the public helps you with the witnesses that were there and saw things? You know, sometimes they don't want to.
You know, I think it's understated how important the public is with this. You guys have way more eyes than we do. We were not there when this happened. We don't want anybody to feel afraid that they can't come up and talk to us because they're the ones that saw it. We need to catch the folks that did this and put answers on the table because people were hurt tonight, and that's extremely important. We need the public's help.
So tips are anonymous.
Yes, you don't have to provide your name and things like that for tips, all right? That's very important. If you could please tell your public. I know there's, certain folks that are afraid to call the police department. Please don't be afraid to call us. Things like this require us all to work together to resolve this.
Do you think you'll have an update on the status of those 5 victims at some point tonight?
I would hope so. I no guarantees. We're letting the hospital do their stuff. We're letting our investigators do their things, and we're staying out of the way. Obviously, with I said 3 adult victims and 2 children, there's a lot of people that are very, very upset and sad tonight, and we don't want to put too much information out revolving those families that may be going through a very tragic time right now.
Any idea how many shots rang out?
No idea.
Do you know how many people were at the flea market when this happened?
No, ma'am. My experience, there could be thousands out there. I don't know. Any of you guys ever been to the flea market out there? It's thousands. A fair assessment. Gentleman in the back. Yeah, easily thousands of people. Now the weather may have affected it today, but it's a very packed in, populated area.
What about surveillance video? Are you guys looking into that, or?
I'm not sure what exists out there. If there is, I'm sure our investigators are looking into it. We have extremely thorough and professional investigators that are going to do everything they can to actually put pieces in place, answer what happened.
Do you know how many officers were on the scene tonight?
I think all the ones we had. There was a lot that head that way, and we also had the additional resources that came out there.
Anything else you'd like to add or tell the public tonight?
No, all the help you guys can get to put that tip line out, that's extremely important. Also let them know that this does not appear to be a targeted attack on the flea market, that this was a disturbance between 2 individuals that resulted in people being shot. If you can make sure that's also put out there and aware. So.
Can you give us that phone number one more time
Yeah.
for those watching?
Yeah, tip line, it's 281-997-5828. 281-997-5828.
I got to ask you.
Yeah.
Do you speak Spanish?
I do not speak Spanish. No, sir. Sorry. My wife's Cuban. She speaks Spanish, but I don't speak Spanish. Does anybody else need anything?